I consume caffeine every morning, usually yerba mate tea, some coffee a little bit later. So I'd like to know the relationship between caffeine and blood flow to the skin and skin health and appearance.
That's a good question. So caffeine is a known vasoconstrictor. Fortunately, when it's consumed in quantities that we have in coffee, tea, and equivalent beverages, the amount that affects the tiny capillaries and arterioles in our skin is minute and transient. So you may get a transient vasoconstriction with high caffeine intake, but usually there's a compensatory vasodilation as a result. So the effects on skin are not as dramatic as people may make it seem. Now, one thing that we do see, and it's a little unclear as to why, is that people who have chronic high caffeine intake tend to produce more sebum in their skin. And it may be a result of vasoconstriction, may be a result of something that we don't understand that's compensatory as a result of those changes. So a lot of people who consume coffee may experience a little bit oilier skin. That being said, the data is equivocal as to whether or not caffeine has a deleterious, beneficial, or net neutral effect on the skin. I drink a lot of coffee. I haven't found that the vasoconstriction is something that's noticeable, but there are people who have different skin types, patients who have rosacea, for example, who are much more sensitive to those changes. They may notice that change in the color and the vasoconstriction more with caffeine consumption. What used to be thought was that caffeine itself was a problem for flushing and redness, and now we've realized it's actually not so much the caffeine, because the concentration that reaches the skin is so minuscule. It's actually the temperature of the beverages we drink. So hot beverages can affect the color of your skin, can make you flush more, make the redness more pronounced. Cold beverages tend not to have that effect. So it used to be an old adage, and people who had like rosacea, for example, we'd say don't drink coffee, don't drink tea. It's actually the temperature of the beverage, not so much the caffeine content.